Well, g'day everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I've been away for quite some time, and I do apologise that I haven't made a video for quite a while. Before I get too deep into this video, I will organise today's video as chapters, and when you have a look in the video description area, if you don't feel like listening to one or whatever, you can skip to the next one. So just very quickly, let's bring you up to speed. So guys, I've been away, I've got some health issues. So now when I tell you this health issues, so you don't like hearing this sort of stuff, that's cool, I understand. Just skip to the next bit, all right, in the video description. So guys, I've had a couple of surgeries, and the first surgery I had a what they call a basal cell carcinoma on my lip here, and I went to my normal GP, quack, and the doctor cut it off but didn't cut it all out and got a second opinion, and the other doctor said, mate, I'm not going to touch you need to see a plastic surgeon. So off I went, and I think it was day surgery, half a day in the hospital, twilight sedation, and they cut it right down here up around my lip and took out a big chunk of meat and sent it to pathology to make sure they got all the cancer out. The second stint in hospital was a kidney stone, so that wasn't fun. I thought I was dying. And the next stint, guys, I'm 3 weeks in recovery at the moment. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, I'm sharing this with you. I don't want sympathy. I don't want pity. I don't want GoFundMe. I don't want your money. I want nothing, all right? The reason I'm telling this, because predominantly my viewers are male, and guys, men, we don't look after our health. So make sure, guys, you get your PSA blood level checked regularly. It's not hard, it's just a blood test. So with me, I had early prostate cancer. I had some nasty cancers there. So I opted for the robotic surgery. And very lucky over here in Australia, we, if you're working, about 2% of your wage goes into a health fund called Medicare. So I had a full robotic radical prostatectomy done by the Alfred Hospital, and it cost me $0. Well, I tell a lie. The medication they gave me when I went home cost me about $35, and we are very lucky to have access to this sort of health care. Of course, you do pay for it. You pay out of your wage. But anyway, gentlemen, get on top of that sort of stuff. So for me now, it's about a 6-week recovery. I can't do much. I've just got to take it easy. I can't lift. Have to retrain my pelvic floor so I don't leak urine when I'm walking around. But hey, it's the quack said, well, the surgeon said roughly 10 years I would have been dead. So I caught it very early, so it was fully contained in the prostate. Enough of health issues, guys, I won't go on. So what have I been doing? Well, I've been home resting, recovering. Well, I can't get out here and machine at the moment. I can't lift anything. So I've been reorganising my workshop with the help of my wife. She lifts anything heavy. And I've gone through underneath the back bench here, and I've bought smaller tubs. I've put my stock away and just had a big cleanup. I had crap everywhere, and that's not like me. I hate being unorganised or disorganised. About a week ago, pretty much when I came home from hospital, was I splurged out and bought a brand new Bamboo Labs H2S 3D printer. Now it's a combo edition, which means it has an AMS. Now I don't cover this sort of stuff on this channel because that sort of lends itself to CNC, right? And this is predominantly a manual machining channel. But what I've been doing with it, seriously, it's the duck's guts. And over here in Australia, that's slang term mean it's the best thing since sliced bread. So I've been printing off a system called Gridfinity, and you've seen other YouTubers cover that. I know Cloud42 had covered it, and some others. And this bamboo printer, because it's got such a large printing envelope, I printed off a Gridfinity base system. The split liners here, and they even, when they split it, they give you little dovetail joints to put into it. And seriously, this stuff has changed my way of thinking. Now, I believe you can get a plug-in for Gridfinity that will go into your CAD software. The CAD software I use here is Autodesk Fusion 360. I believe it has a plugin or an app for it. I've just been going to the website and using it straight off the website. Bringing it into Bamboo Labs Studio and just pressing print, slice it and print it. So I'm currently going through my toolbox over this my left-hand side here, which is your right-hand side. And I started on the top drawer. I've organised all my end mills. And I've categorised the end mills going from left to right, from obviously metric aluminium, metric steel, then they're both carbide section, and then into cobalt or high-speed steel, that sort of stuff, metric, and then to my far right of the drawer, I've got into my imperial sizes that come down and around. It's just tidied that up so much. So I'm working on the second shelf now, and the second shelf will cover all my turning tools, and that's what I'm currently printing at the moment. That probably won't be done. These tubs take a while to print. 3D printing is not instant. You've got to expect anywhere between a 5 to a 10-hour print. All right, so the little bamboo, well, it's not little, it's quite a big machine. It's been running non-stop since my neighbour helped me unbox it. I couldn't lift it. I can't lift anything after the surgery, so he's helped me lift it and set it up. He's a good bloke. Thank you, Gavin. So this leads me to my next project, which is a CNC lathe retrofit. Now, I will not show any of the build on this channel. If you're interested in that, I will eventually put it up on my DCT one, Design, Creativity and Technology channel. So I'm working with some good people on this. Of course, I reach out to my friends, Anthony, who I know from AWA Radiola YouTube channel. He's very, very clever on the electronics side of things. I've also reached out to Peter Homan. Now, Peter Homan in Australia is probably the grandfather of the whole retrofit CNC movement here. Very smart man. I believe he's a systems engineer as a profession. And so he's been helping me. He actually sells components as well. So that's on his website, Homan Design. This is not a plug. I'm not paid or endorsing anyone. I'm just telling you where I'm at with it. Now, this little CNC lathe is actually an Australian-made lathe. I think it's 40 years old, all right? And it was fitted with a Anchor, A-N-C-A, so that's an acronym, Anchor controller. Now, if you're aware of any sort of CNC tool and cutter grinders, Anchor make CNC tool and cutter grinders, 5 axes to do end mills, drill bits, all that sort of stuff. Now, Anchor, when they first started, were just in motion control, but further went into making their own machines down the track. Sadly, my Anchor controller is dead. So I picked this lathe up from a high school. I did some CAD training at a regional high school in Melbourne where I live, and these guys knew I love CNC, and they ran me up about 3 years later and said, look, we've got a little Hercus lathe here and it's going to the tip, do you want it? I said, absolutely. So a little bit of money was paid to the school and I got the lathe and brought it home. It was absolutely putrid. I've had to clean it, fully clean it, degrease it. It was putrid. So I've gutted it at the moment. I've pulled everything out, pulled all the electronics out, pulled the cross slide off, the tail stock off, all that sort of stuff. And I'm working with Peter Homan to reinvigorate the servo motors. So these are quite expensive. They're American-made servo motors, permanent magnet ones. I'm not going to throw those out. I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Peter Homan's sold me some Gecko servo drivers that will talk to these. He's also sold me AMT encoders to go into the back so we can get some feedback loop happening, so it's a closed loop system. I didn't chuck out the screws. Silly me, when I first looked at it, I thought it looked like threaded rod. And someone on the Hercus user group goes, no, Aaron, that's quite a high-end lead screw. They're, I believe they're called satellite screws. They're Swedish made. They're four thread start. One turn is 4 millimeters. So I kept them. I'm not going to use ball screws. But the best thing out of the whole retrofit, that I've reconnected with my buddy Jatinder. Now, Jatinder is the owner of Masso CNC. So I'm going to be working with Jatinder to put a new brain in this machine, and I can't wait to get it up and running because it's going to expand my envelope here in my home little workshop. As you know, I've got a big, fairly big CNC mill sitting right there, but I don't have a CNC lathe. I still love manual machining, but sometimes, you know, if you want to make more than just a one-off part, CNC is the way to go. Next project. I'm still working on the little 4-stroke engines. Now, unfortunately, they've come to a screaming halt. I need to get on top of them and start to make the pistons for those motors, all right? So pistons and the other parts, the cylinder head. I've got to make the rocker arms, the push rods, and that's pretty much it. I'm very, very close, guys, to getting those little motors running. As you know, I'm making 4 of them, and I'll keep one. One will go to my good buddy Andrew, and Tony from TAFE, where I used to work at the TAFE College training apprentices, and to Gary there as well. So I can't wait to get that job done, but just cleaning up this workshop should make things a lot easier. Now, last and not least, the projects that I'm working on for my buddy Wayne. Wayne, who does small engines and larger engines, vintage engines. So I've still got some parts for him to do as well. I'd usually put them up on the channel. I did machine a lot of his parts last school holidays, but I didn't cover a video on it. I find they don't really get a lot of views, but look, if you still want to see it, I'll start putting them up. Alrighty guys, look, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to my story and my journey. Like I said, I'm happy to share my health with you. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. I'm only sharing it for one reason, and that's for educational reasons. Guys, seriously, if you've got some sort of health issue, don't sit there and think she'll be right, mate. So in Australia, there's an old saying, you know, she'll be right. Oh, I'll take a teaspoon of cement and harden up. No, go and see a bloody doctor. So sadly, that's my second bout with cancer. In 2017, I had thyroid cancer and had all my neck cut open and the thyroid removed. So unfortunately, I'm a bit of a shit magnet for that. So don't send me any more cancer if you want to get rid of it. I've had my fair dose of it. Good on you guys. Look, thank you very much for tuning in. I will try and get some more machining videos out soon. All right, soon as I can. Look after yourselves and look after one another, and look forward to seeing you here on the next Aaron Engineering saga. Bye for now.